I woke up at 4 in the morning to watch WWE Elimination Chamber, and it was worth it. This show was amazing. So let's talk about it. So I was originally wanting to just wait until, right before 5 to watch it. Then they announced that they were going to have a kickoff match. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to wake up at 4. The kickoff show match was Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, defending the Women's Tag Team Championship against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. This match was basically just to give Indy Hartwell a match in front of her home continent, Australia, because she's from Australia. And Candice and Indy had a good showing. I was really tired still waking up during this match, though I remember it being good. A costly mistake at the end for Candice and Indy gave the Kabuki Warriors the opportunity to hit the insane elbow and to retain the Women's Tag Team Championship. Then the main show begun. The show kicked off with the Women's Elimination Chamber match, Becky Lynch versus Naomi versus Bianca Belair versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Tiffany Stratton versus Liv Morgan. The winner of this match goes on to face Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania 40. The atmosphere of this match was pretty cool. I really like it was unique seeing the Elimination Chamber, but it being like full bright daylight outside. Even though it was pitch black outside my window, it was like sun shining down in Australia. The fans were really behind Tiffany. They were chanting for her, and when she got eliminated, they booed Liv Morgan. Naomi was also eliminated early on by Tiffany. Raquel hit a double Tejana bomb on both Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan, and then Bianca Belair swooped in and hit her with a KOD to eliminate her. And then the three women went back and forth, and then there was this cool ending sequence where Becky Lynch reversed one of Bianca's moves, and then Liv Morgan rolled up Bianca and actually eliminated Bianca Belair. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh my god, are they really gonna have Liv win this match? But no, Becky Lynch just right away goes in, hits the manhandle slam, 1, 2, 3. So both of the last two women were eliminated in the matter of like 10 seconds. I think this was the right move. I am very excited to see Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. The story, they've been building it up for months. The story of Becky Lynch needing to prove to herself that she still is the man, and that she's, what she says she is, the best woman in WWE, because she thinks that Rhea Ripley may be better than her, and she needs to just kill that doubt by taking that world title off of her. Sure, it's going to be a fantastic match, and I could see Rhea retaining. I could see Becky Lynch winning, so very unpredictable match, and that's what you love to see in wrestling. Match quality, I think it was pretty good. It's not like a match that I'm going to be clamoring to go back to all the time, though I wouldn't mind rewatching it. It was good. Then it was time for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match, as Damian Priest and Finn Balor, accompanied by Dominic Mysterio, defended against the New Catch Republic in Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. The sunset effect for this match was pretty cool. I didn't know the sun set that early in Australia. It's technically summertime for them. Solid match. I can't say I really remember like a lot of spots in it. I went back and forth. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate had a good showing. You know that spot that Butch does where like he bends the fingers? Like, I would probably rather be thrown on thumbtacks than take that spot. That just looks so painful. Of course, the Judgment Day can't win clean, so Dominic Mysterio interfered, which helped Finn and Damian retain their championship. Even though I don't really remember much of it, I still remember it being pretty good. Almost as good as the Women's Chamber match. There wasn't a single bad match on this show. And so yeah, I liked it. Pretty good match as well. Then it was time for the Grayson Waller effect. This is the big segment of the show. Grayson Waller is out there with his boy, Austin Theory. By the way, I know that they said they're changing the whole WWE 2K24 rating system. And even though you're doing that, Theory's a 72? Like, okay, you want it to be, instead of doing the logical thing and basing it off the last year of their career, you're basing it more off of the last few months. So fine, maybe Theory is not even an 80 because, he hasn't done much after losing the US title. But at least give him like a 76. Anyways, that doesn't really matter. Change the ratings yourself. The segment, Austin Theory was making fun of Australia, but I'm using this website to recap it. Austin Theory was in the ring telling fans that Vegemite was disgusting. But then he introduced Australia's own Grayson Waller, who got a huge pop And then Theory just started loving Australia after that. Major dick riding activities. Waller did a shoey right outside the ring with a beer. Here comes the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. They sang his song to the ring, and then came out the American Nightmare, the 2023-24 Royal Rumble winner, Cody Rhodes. Waller asked Rollins who he wanted to win the Elimination Chamber match, and Rollins said he doesn't know who's going to win, but any challenger he will take on, as in a few days, Seth Rollins will be officially medically cleared to compete. Let's go. I was so worried that he was gonna barely make it, and that, he's gonna be working the match hurt, and it would have, hindered the quality, but it seems like, nope, Seth's gonna be fully healthy. And that is great for the match that we're going to be getting. Then Waller asked Cody questions about Roman Reigns versus The Rock, saying that how rude it was for Cody Rhodes to take away that match away from the fans. And Cody spoke about why he stepped out of the title match and back into it. And then Cody went on to challenge The Rock to a one-on-one match. I have no idea when this match is going to happen, unless The Rock works like the SmackDown before Mania, which would be huge, just having The Rock on SmackDown. That could be the highest viewed SmackDown of all time. Well, not all time, but the modern era, There's no PLE upcoming before WrestleMania, so I guess they could do the MSG show and just decide to air that on the Peacock. Wherever they go with, there is a challenge set by Cody Rhodes, and he wants to face The Rock in a match. So however we get this, if it ends up being a tag match, if it ends up being The Rock added to Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes to make it a triple threat, we will be seeing The Rock in the ring soon, which I am so hyped for. I just love this new heel Rock character. I didn't know how much I wanted it at first, but after seeing it, I want The Rock to always be a heel. He is so much better as a bad guy. He just is so good at being a dick. Theory started saying Rock's promo lines to Cody and Seth. It doesn't matter what you think. And then Theory did the if you smack. And Seth and Cody started attacking him. Seth hit the curb stomp. Cody hit the Cody cutter. And that was basically the segment. Grayson Waller stepped out of the way to let it happen, so there could be some tension between Waller and Theory. Pretty good segment. It makes sense why they did this way, because Roman and The Rock couldn't fly to Australia. Well, Roman could, but he's part-time things. And Seth wasn't medically cleared. There's really no reason to give Cody a match. Overall, a decent segment. This website I'm reading says that it's possible that they do Rock versus Cody at WrestleMania Night 1, and the thought of that is if you're gonna do The Rock and Cody at WrestleMania Night 1, and Cody versus Roman WrestleMania Night 2, and you're not going to have Roman also work double duty, Cody has to win. You have to make this a full-on Daniel Bryan type situation where Cody faces The Rock, and he defends his match against Roman Reigns, and if he loses, then The Rock faces Roman Reigns. Now Cody win, and then he'll go on to beat Roman Reigns, and then they can do Rock versus Roman Reigns. In the future, Roman being mad at his cousin, you lost and you should have won. We would have had that match then, and then you let Cody win and he beat me. It's all your fault. Let's see what happens. The next match was not Rhea versus Nia Jax. They went with the men's Elimination Chamber match. LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre versus Kevin Owens versus Bobby Lashley versus Logan Paul versus Randy Orton. The winner of this match challenges Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 40. Drew McIntyre and LA Knight started the match, and then Kevin Owens came in, and Kevin Owens, this whole match, was just dying to be able to beat Logan Paul. Beat his ass, kick the hell out of him. But Logan Paul didn't come in until the very end, because Bobby Lashley came out as well, and Randy Orton. All 6 men got into the match before one of them was eliminated. As soon as Logan Paul came out of his pod, Kevin Owens just instantly jumped on him and shut the pod door and just kept slamming his head against the glass. Kevin Owens was more focused on beating Logan Paul than he was winning the match. Once Logan Paul got a few shots in on Kevin, then Bobby Lashley went over to Logan Paul and he speared him through the pod. My God, I gotta give credit to Logan Paul, because he's not like regular celebrities that just deny spots because they're too dangerous. He is fully dedicated to doing whatever WWE asked of him to do. Then Bobby Lashley got eliminated by Drew McIntyre. He kind of got like double teamed. Then as it looked like LA Knight was about to get an elimination, AJ Styles ran into the pod as they opened it to let Lashley out, and he started beating the living hell out of LA Knight with a steel chair. He even hit a Styles Clash right onto the chair, and then Drew McIntyre rolled over, pinned LA Knight, and LA Knight is going home. This looks like this is going to lead to LA Knight versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania 40. We all originally thought they were going to go with LA Knight versus Logan Paul for the US title to, finally give LA Knight a championship. Though this makes sense to me because I think they don't want to put a mid-card title on Knight. They're going to try and still keep him in the world title picture, and he may be drafted over to Raw after WrestleMania and challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship and win that belt by like SummerSlam or something. I don't know. Just seems like the mid-card isn't what they want to do with him, and so LA Knight versus AJ Styles has been a feud that's been going on for a while now over the hostility of, LA Knight teaming with Cena all the way back at Fastlane when AJ got hurt. And something else that happens later in this match makes sense why they're probably doing Knight versus Styles. As Kevin Owens was still beating the living hell out of Logan Paul, Randy Orton capitalized by RKOing Kevin Owens and getting the 1-2-3. Randy Orton continued to sell a lower back injury, the part of his body that he injured that originally kept him out for a year and a half. The final three: Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, and Logan Paul. Just tell me back a few years ago, alright, it's going to be Elimination Chamber in front of 50,000 fans, and the winner goes to WrestleMania for the world title. Logan Paul is going to be in the final three of that match. And Logan Paul was the only man on his feet, and he grabbed the brass knuckles, and since it's legal in the chamber, he decided to showboat a bit, like he was charging up his fist like some freaking anime villain or something. And then it was hilarious, because you just see Randy Orton run on screen and RKO him. 1, 2, 3, Logan Paul is eliminated. Orton continued to sell that back, but it was a fake out as Drew McIntyre was toying with him, and then Randy Orton just quickly springs up, RKO, he's about to go down for the pin, but Logan Paul runs back into the ring and hits him with the brass knuckles. Drew McIntyre capitalizes to win the Elimination Chamber. So at WrestleMania 40, it is going to be Drew McIntyre versus Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is exactly what I wanted to see, because we originally wanted to see CM Punk versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, but CM Punk got injured, and it's probably the most unfortunate injury we've had in a very long time. I think they may wait all the way until WrestleMania 41 for that match, because that match is WrestleMania main event worthy. Like, I don't want to see Punk miss out on his WrestleMania main event because of this injury. They'll probably switch the roles by like having Punk walk into the Mania as champion next time, but anyways, they needed a replacement, and Drew McIntyre is the perfect replacement, as he has been the world's biggest hater of CM Punk these past couple months. He got the shirt that was laughing at CM Punk's WrestleMania Dreams grave, his main event, and he said he is going to live CM Punk's dream of main eventing WrestleMania again, as Drew McIntyre has main evented WrestleMania before, but he never did it in front of a live audience. So this year he's gonna finally win the World Heavyweight Championship in front of a live crowd, something he's dreamed of. It's wild to think back. Drew McIntyre, other than that 3-week gap where he oddly lost the title to Randy Orton and regained it back on him, he was basically the World Heavyweight Champion from WrestleMania 36 in April 2020 all the way until Elimination Chamber 2021 in February 2021. He was basically champ for an entire year without one single second as champion in front of an audience. And they did him dirty. He went on to challenge Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania that year, and he lost. He never has gotten to hold that world title in front of an audience. Finally gets to right the wrong that he's never been champion in front of fans when he beats Seth Rollins and holds that title at WrestleMania 40. Then you can give, Seth a break just to deal with his injuries, because even though he's coming back, he may like he's medically cleared, but we don't know if he's like 100%. And so it may be good once Drew wins to give Seth, a couple months to just heal from injuries and then come back for like the summertime. And then there's an X factor in this match. Damian Priest, is he gonna cash in? Is he gonna cash in on Drew the next night? We just have to see. This match quality, probably the match of the night for me. Lots of cool spots, like one I didn't even mention was Logan Paul just casually just died off the top of a pod. Lots of back and forth, lots of near falls. Definitely will rewatch this match sometime. Then Triple H came out and he thanked the fans for their support and thanking Perth, Australia for a great show. And he announced that Australia Elimination Chamber's attendance was 52,590 people. That is wild to me. An Elimination Chamber, a B-level show, nowadays for WWE is able to sell out a 50,000 seater stadium. You remember the days, just not, like 20 years ago where they were holding WrestleManias in only like 20,000 seater arenas? Now, hell, soon they're gonna probably start holding Money in the Bank in a stadium. Then it was time for the main event, which probably wouldn't main event if it wasn't Australia, though I still think it was caliber to be the main event for this specific show, which is for the Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax, which, fun fact, this is the first main event on a major WWE show for the women since Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks at WrestleMania 37 in 2021. So it has been nearly 3 years since the women have gotten a main event, and this was a good match. I still don't think I can say I'm a fan of Nia Jax, but she has gone a lot better from her last run in WWE. She's overall just a lot more safe looking in the ring, and she's been booked really good as a dominant heel. She just plays the perfect role as someone you just legit will want to boo for. And Rhea Ripley was obviously the babyface in her home continent. Ripley came out with a special Australia jacket. And yeah, this was basically just Rhea Ripley versus her challenger type match. Rhea Ripley had her family at ringside. And in the early goings, Nia Jax dominated Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley wasn't able to get any offense. Every time she tried to clothesline her down, Nia Jax would just brush it off. There was this spot where Nia Jax was trying to do a Samoan drop through the table, but they didn't clear off the monitors, and she just slammed Rhea Ripley right onto the monitors, and that just looks so painful. I don't know what they're making these tables out of in WWE nowadays, but they just never like to break on the first try. Then Nia got on a chair, and she did an elbow drop to the table, but it didn't even look like her feet got off the chair. Like, she didn't jump far at all. But anyways, yeah, that was a pretty cool spot, and then, they went back in the ring, some more spots. Rhea Ripley was doing some Lucha Libre moves, doing Hurricanranas. She even did Eddie Guerrero's Frog Splash. When Dominic does it, he gets booed. But when Rhea Ripley does it, she gets cheered. Then Rhea Ripley hit the Riptide on Nia Jax for the 1, 2, 3. Obvious that we were going to get this win. I mean, it could have ended in a DQ, but if it was the main event, we already knew Rhea Ripley, she's going to go over. Worthy of the main event, it's not like I was like, oh my god, really, they're having Rhea versus Nia Jax. I understood why, and it was pretty entertaining. Rhea Ripley celebrated with her championship with all of the Australian crowd and her family, and that was a really good ending to Elimination Chamber. This card only had 4 matches on the main show, and it lasted 3.5 hours. And it did not drag on at all. That's the crazy thing, is that WWE nowadays is having 4 match cards, 5 match cards. Extremely short compared to the previous, 8, 9, 10 match cards we used to get in the past. Yet these shows fly by a lot quicker than those shows that had a lot more matches on them. And overall, I love this new pay-per-view structure that WWE has been doing since Triple H took over. The only minor complaint I have is that it does mean a lot of stars get left off of these cards, though it also it makes the SmackDowns and Raw before the pay-per-view have more meaning, because they kind of treat them as what the lower card used to be on these pay-per-views. So you ain't just gonna have a random, Johnny Gargano match happen on the PLE. I love Johnny Gargano, by the way. You just put him on the Raw SmackDown before, and it still builds him up credibility to eventually get his spot on a PLE. And it also is really good for the WrestleManias, because WrestleMania can have like, 10, 11 matches spread across 2 nights. But anyways, yeah, this sets up the major matches for WrestleMania. It's looking like the major matches will be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Universal Championship, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the WWE Women's World Championship, and Bayley versus Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship. Well, we got other matches that have been, heavily rumored or teased based off of the stuff going on in this show, like LA Knight versus AJ Styles and Logan Paul versus Randy Orton for the United States Championship. I also think we're going to get Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus The Miz and R-Truth for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. We all thought this show was doomed after Punk got injured, but no, WWE, they always find a way. Despite whatever may go wrong, they'll still, divert and still give us something that is pretty good in the end. So yeah, Elimination Chamber, amazing show. Out of 10, I would probably rate this. We'll go with a 8.5 out of 10. I want to give it a 9, but that may be slightly too high. Either or, 8.5 to 9 out of 10. And WrestleMania 40 is looking stacked. So that's the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to click that like button and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I wish I could have it my way. I don't really know who's to blame, but you said you were giving me space, then forever went away. Hey, at night in the garden I roam. Since the day you left, no flowers grow. My skin's gone purple from the cold.